Hi, my name is Mr. Vero. I teach science at Canyon, and this is a short video to talk about the science program we have at Canyon Elementary. Here's what we're doing. Students are learning how to think like a scientist. I'm always telling them, look at this and think like a scientist, or read this and think like a scientist. Well, what does that mean exactly? Well, scientists like to ask questions. They like to ask how. How does this work and how does that happen? They also like to ask questions like why. Why is it this way and why does it happen that way? Students learn how to think like this through questioning, exploring ideas, discovering concepts on their own, and coming to their own conclusions about things, so that when they step outside into the world, they're able to look at things with a scientific eye, always questioning, always wondering, and coming to their own conclusions. And here's how we do this. We start with questions. Questions like, how do magnets work? Or, why do the planets stay in orbit? Or, what are rocks made of? Then from our questions, we start the fun part, the investigations. This is by far my favorite part because this is where I get to sit back and watch the students explore their ideas and explore their questions on their own while I simply guide them in the right directions. This is also the students' favorite part of science because, well, they're getting their hands dirty. So here's a short video that shows what investigations look like in the classroom. In this video, students were investigating questions about what rocks are made of.
Probably a little rock that's
So that was a beginning investigation about rocks. From there, students would learn more about rocks and actually explore real rocks. During these investigations, students are learning how to keep journals. Every great scientist kept a journal. Galileo, Sir Isaac Newton, even Da Vinci. They wrote things down. They drew their ideas, they drew their inventions, and it was because of that is why they were famous. So we're learning how to do this. For example, here's a journal entry from 4th grade. We were building circuits using 2 light bulbs, and the students started to notice a problem. One of the light bulbs was dim. So we started to record this in our journals. We recorded what a possible solution might be. In this case, it was to try to use 2 batteries. Did it work? No. But the students ended up learning that this type of circuit we built was called a series circuit. Students are also learning about the scientific method, how to start with a question and a hypothesis, how to list the materials they're going to use for their experiment, how to collect data and even graph it so it becomes a visual representation, easy to read and easy to understand. And it's from this sort of information that the students will then make a conclusion based on all of this. Here are some of the topics we've been covering so far. In 3rd grade, we've been staring towards the sky and studying constellations and the sun and the moon and asking questions like, why does the sun move across the sky the way it does? And why does the moon have a predictable pattern? We've also been studying matter and electricity and studying the different phases of matter and how it can change from one form to the other. We've also been studying how energy can travel from one place to the other in different forms like light, heat, and motion. In 4th grade, we've been studying electricity. We've been building circuits, and as an end project, the students built an electromagnet combining their knowledge of electricity and magnetism, and they used this electromagnet to build a telegraph. They were even able to send a telegraphic message from one end of the classroom to the other across a wire. It was very fun and very exciting. In 5th grade, we've been taking an in-depth focus at the solar system and the objects that exist out there, and there's much more than just planets. Students recreated one of Galileo's very first experiments using pendulums. It was through this experiment that students learned the idea of inertia and momentum, and they used this to explain why planets stay in orbit instead of fly off into space. We've also been using a lot of technology in our classrooms. In our pilot program, we have a laptop cart, which has allowed us to explore the human digestive system in 3D. In this particular program, the 5th graders were able to view the human digestive system in 3 dimensions. They're able to zoom in and zoom out, rotate it, and manipulate each organ. This really gave the students a visual understanding of what happens when we eat food. I even had one student come to me after this lesson and say, "Mr. Vero, I learned something." I said, "What?" He said, "I always thought that when you just chew your food and swallow it, it falls straight to your feet." Well, now you know where it goes. In 3rd and 5th grade, we've also used another program called Solar Walk. During our study of the solar system, we've used this to explore the planets. It's great because it allows you to fly through our solar system and zoom into planets. And what's great about it is that this is actually real time. This is where the planets are right now in space. This is great because they could also zoom out, and they can, if they wanted to, they could choose a planet and focus on it, take a closer look, see its moons, and even get some information to read about it. Very fun, very exciting. Now, I forgot to mention quizzes. Every few weeks or so, we're going to be taking a quiz on some of the things we've learned. Now, not to worry, we plan ahead of time for these quizzes, so I let the students review for a whole entire day before the quiz. I also give them study guides to take home that you can work with them. And if you want to get an inside look at them, I even have them available for download on the website. So, there's our science program we have here at Kenyon. I'm looking forward to a year of exploration and discovery. Thank you very much.